Well, good evening. Ethan back for another beer review, and I'm going to be reviewing Rolling Rock. Extra Pale is a lager established 1939 by Latrobe Brewing Company out of Latrobe, Pennsylvania, which is about 34 miles southeast of Pittsburgh. This gets a 62 on Beer Advocate, so a very poor score. It was once sort of a local beer to Pennsylvania, and then in 2006 Anheuser-Busch bought it, and now it is distributed more widely across the US. I've always been able to get this in Georgia. You can get it in cans too, 16-ounce pint cans. Got it in bottles this time. This is the last one I wanted to save to review. Go ahead and crack it. Thank goodness it's a twist off. The reason I got this, actually, a six-pack, is because I watched two movies, and in both those movies, the characters were drinking Rolling Rock, right? In a bottle like this. But I think it was a different design back then, because they were two movies from the 80s. I watched a movie called At Close Range. It had Sean Penn when he was young, and Christopher Walken, who was about two brothers, and their dad was in crime and stuff. And then the other movie was called Jackknife. It's kind of a Vietnam vet movie. It has Robert De Niro, Bob De Niro, and Ed Harris. Really good movie. Both those movies I recommend. Jackknife came out in 1989. At Close Range came out in '86. So I recommend both those movies. They were on Amazon Prime. I watched them. So in At Close Range, the movie with Sean Penn, it was set in Pennsylvania. So I guess it makes sense they were drinking Rolling Rock at the time, because I guess in the 80s it was probably still only available, or probably mostly only available in Pennsylvania, and that's where the movie was set. And then Jackknife, the other movie I watched, was set in Connecticut, so I'm guessing maybe strictly to the northeast this beer was at one time. But yeah, that's what made me want to get it. I was like, oh, I want to get some Rolling Rock, because I saw the characters in the movie drink it. Anyway, enough rambling. Got about a 2-finger head in the Pabst glass. You got a clear, light golden, pale yellow appearance. Very light, almost like a light beer. It looks like a Bud Light, a Miller Lite, a Coors Light, something like that. Let's get an aroma. All right, I'm getting a little hop, maybe like a little spiciness, like maybe a Heineken skunk. The other bottles were not skunked in the green bottle, but we'll get a little hoppiness, a little wet bread, maybe like a little sourdough bread, a little saltine cracker maybe. I've said saltine cracker before. This seems to be a good way to describe beer. Or maybe like an oyster cracker, you know, this little. Let's go ahead and try it. Light, crisp, refreshing, very light, but not as light as a light beer. Maybe just a step above that. And this is 4.4% alcohol, if I didn't mention that. 4.4, so sort of between a Bud Light, a light beer, and say a Pabst, a Miller High Life, an Old Milwaukee, a Milwaukee's Best, that kind of stuff. So this is, yeah, I think they, the brewery, the Anheuser-Busch brewery that now produces this mostly is out of New Jersey, so right next door to its original hometown of Pennsylvania, I guess. It's not bad. I believe they use corn and rice in this. Most beers either use one or the other, not both. What's the Best Buy on this bottle? Best Buy. So, I mean, this is just nothing spectacular. It's just a nice, it's got a code or something. I can't decipher it. This is just kind of all around, kind of light, refreshing, drinkable, crushable. Be good for warm weather, you know. Getting into May, you know, getting a little warmer. But it was kind of cool today, you know, around 69, 70 degrees, which is cool for us for May. But beautiful day nonetheless. Sun shining, clear as a bell. You know, this is like better than a light beer. I'd rather drink this than Bud Light, for sure. Coors Light, Miller Light, Milwaukee's Best Light, Natural Light, for sure. Much better flavor, more body. And really, you know, it's got a little less alcohol than a Pabst or a High Life, but it's just as good as those to me. It's not watery, it's not tasteless, but it's light. You know, there's not a lot of complexity here. This was actually one of the first beers I got because it's pretty cheap. I was in college at the time, so I got this one for $5.99 a 6-pack. That's a pretty good price. 6-pack beer for $5.99. I got it at the liquor store near me. And you can get the 6-pack of pint cans. I don't see those a lot near me anymore, but when I moved up a little further away from Atlanta, you would see those more. And I think they were $4.99 for a 6-pack of pint cans, so comparable to Miller High Life, Pabst, Old Milwaukee, same price, and you get a pretty decent beer. Light, crisp. For a score, I'll give this a 90 out of 100. That's an A-. It's not great, but it's good. I mean, it's just a good beer. It has the beer quality characteristics and the flavor and aroma and all that. So yeah, 90 out of 100 for the Rolling Rock. Cheers, and thank you for watching.